So now let me shift. Having addressed a few key issues and given you some multiple samples of my commission's track record, I want to turn back to the task at hand for you, which is electing 4 new council members for 4 long years. That's a long time, folks. It's not trivial. So how are you going to de-risk that decision? Well, I decided to try an exercise with you. As some of you know, I'm an executive recruiter. So I suggest that you put on your recruiter hat and go out and hire council members. So, as you know, this process usually starts with a job description, and we don't have time for you to come up with that, so I came up with one. Here's what I think is the council member City of Palo Alto job description, and I kept it as small as possible so we could get our arms around it. The first thing that I think is, I just call it table stakes. Everybody's got to have this. Person has to be smart and articulate with excellent work ethic, willing, not able, but willing to absorb massive quantities of reports and data, and then debate that in an informed, efficient, and respectful manner, at least weekly, if not more. The second thing, I am very passionate about this. I think this is an unassailable aspect of a council member, is personal ethics. It's black or it's white. Do your research. Third, particularly due to the times we're in, I think you want battle-tested individuals who have addressed and resolved really complex problems, because a lot of these things are really complex, and have done this for a lot of years. They have a lot of cycles through this in either city or nonprofit or business setting. Fourth, I'd like to see some record of success and leadership on nonprofit boards or commissions. Fifth, I'd like to see a proven ability to work with colleagues and staff collaboratively and productively and tactfully, but in a context where, sounds familiar, there's often disagreement on policy and approach. I'd like to see some private sector experience or some experience that they've worked effectively on a team. I'd like to see some budgeting experience because it is a big budget. From what I told you about the strategy and tactics needed in parks, I think that's a very important aspect of the job. And maybe crucially for some candidates, not all, you need to make sure that you're voting for an individual who is committed to serving you, not just interested in visibility for the next political job that he or she is interested in. So that's my job description for you as a voter. You can add or subtract bullet points if you disagree, and make it longer because that was pretty limited. But you get to decide. After you finish your JD, you got to do your research, and that's the phase you're in. I suggest you look at the candidate's city and community service track record to show that they want to do community service, and then interview them as you're sort of doing with me. Spend some time, listening to the candidates and what they have to say on what's important to you. Be tough in those interviews. And then finally find references, which in political circles are called endorsements, and from trusted sources. You'll find a pattern is emerging, and I think it'll make it a lot easier for you. Ultimately, you're trying to reduce risk on your choices for council based on candidate experience, track record, demeanor, ethics, and endorsements. One more thing that I ask myself as a voter every time is, who do I trust to handle new issues that have never come up yet? New issues that you can't just take an old template and put it on there and say, that's what we did, that's what we can do here. We certainly have had experience with that in this pandemic, and I think it's crucial. Who can handle it? Who's ready to do that? The answer on these questions is that I'm ready. Here's a summary of what I think I bring to the party. I have combined 10.5 years of city experience on commissions and an executive level business background. These are complementary. Having one or the other is interesting, but having the complement is the rare part. I think it's really helpful for creating a strategic approach to city issues, planning and executing on projects, clearly communicating and having productive interactions with colleagues and staff who I know well, and the public, not necessarily in that order. I have a long public track record that you can look at, unlike some candidates, and it's wide open. It's so wide open that I calculated there are about 500 videos of me in commission meetings. So if you're getting bored with the Netflix offerings, there's where you can go for your next movies. I think my learning curve in joining council is going to be minimal because of my breadth of knowledge on city issues and my ongoing conversations with existing council members. I say that humbly, but I wanted you to know that I can get up to speed fast. Perhaps most important for how the job is done is results from the people that I've worked with. They respect me, and they want to work with me again, and I'm proud of that. It's not because we always agree. Far from it, as my list of endorsers verifies. Regardless of political perspective, they know I do my homework on every issue. They know I will really listen, not just fake it. They know I don't waste time. I hate wasting time. And they know my goal is always to end up with a reasonable outcome on every issue for our residents. I hope my heart is in the right place as well as my head, and that comes across. Very, very strong opinions are to me welcome in a debate, but polarizing debates are not productive if they never get out of being polarized. On commissions, I've often worked hard to try to bridge some of the chasm on issues. I would do the same on council. I think it's pretty simple. We have to work together to get things done. As I ask for your vote, I close with a quote from John Wesley that I just came across recently. I had never heard. It says, though we are not of one opinion, may we not be of one heart? That's kind of my message and my hope for the new council, whoever's on it. Members need to have their heart focused on the citizens of Palo Alto. And they have to focus on what's best and what can make Palo Alto even better. So I urge you to pick council members who are qualified, passionate, ready, and will work together to get things done for you. I hope I'm one of your picks to join Allison and Tom and Eric in January. I promise I'll serve you well. And as we're saying in the campaign, you can trust Ed.